The marketing strategy you must be using in 2022. That's the topic of today's show. This is Todd Toback, and I want to welcome you to the No Limits Real Estate Investing Podcast. If this is the first time that you're listening to the show, head on over to nolimitrealestateinvesting.com, and I have a gift there for you. It is the actual script. That's right, the word-for-word script that we use in our own business that we've used to lock up over 1,300 real estate deals, the same exact script that I've used to train my own team in my own business, and the script that I've used to train the best investors across the country. This thing has made so much money for people. My head is just going to explode. And it's going to be my gift to you. So go to nolimitrealestateinvesting.com/script. So today we're going to talk about the marketing strategy that you've got to be using in 2022. And we have a total rock star here today. His name is Matt Kemp, and he is with the company Deal Machine. And he has not only a marketing channel, but a tool that I've talked about on this show before that's absolutely going to blow your socks off. It's going to be your secret weapon, your advantage. And if you're not using this in 2022, you're missing out on some of the biggest, juiciest deals that are out there. So that being said, I'm sure you can't wait. Welcome to the show, Matt.
Yeah, Todd, thanks again for having me on. Always enjoy catching up.
So, Matt, tell us a little bit about why driving for dollars, right? And I think we could talk a little bit. Maybe you can address what that is, right? Before, but what are some of the benefits? Why they have to be doing it, and why it makes so much sense right now here in 2022.
Yeah. So just to kind of begin with, I think driving for dollars to, that idea, and really this is the area that we play in. So this is the thing that we're, most known for and most focused on improving is the idea of like, hey, the best deals out there are the ones that are not on the market. They're not being flooded by competitors. They're not, being, somebody that's already listing their property and know that you're already at a disadvantage coming in. The best deals out there are the ones sitting all around you off market that are fixer-upper, houses that have some kind of sign of physical distress, and the way to find those is not by just, buying some list that anyone else can have access to, but it's by building your own exclusive list that only you have that, which means, hey, you're going to find those diamonds in the rough. You're going to find those properties that other people aren't able to get easy access to by either you yourself or someone else going out there and driving around, physically getting in your car, driving your neighborhoods, looking for these physically distressed properties and creating this list that's going to get you much, much better return on your investment, much better because it's going to be easier to get their attention and require less of your marketing to get on their radar. It's the deals that no one else has access to. You're building this exclusive list that is yours. So, yeah, the idea behind it is physically getting in your car, driving around, looking for those properties. Today, I think that's even more important than ever. I mean, look at the last 18 months, especially like on market deals are absolutely crazy. It's impossible to find a property that you're going to be able to easily win, that is going to cash flow. It's going to be a good deal in a variety of different metrics. I think this year in general, you're looking at, I think, demand being extremely high still. You have so many offers on a house and I think interest rates, regardless of what they're doing, the demand is so high that I think, hey, off-market deals are going to be extremely valuable, throughout the entire year of 2022.
Right. You mentioned something that is really important because inventory right now is at an all-time low, right? And I think that I talk a lot on the show about using some of the data companies that we talked about using List Source. We've talked a lot about using, PropStream and some of these other tools. But the one thing that I love is that over time, if you are driving for dollars, and maybe we can define that, because basically, I'll define it, I guess, for everyone who's listening.
Yeah.
Driving for dollars is basically getting in your car or walking around and finding the vacant, ugly, abandoned, grass growing, trash in the yard, boards over the windows, just the house that needs a lot of love. Right. And it's, finding those, because those are going to be the most motivated sellers. And I would rather work a list of, let's say, 200 of those leads, right, than a list of 25,000 random or even distressed leads that I pull from somewhere else. Those are valuable, and we make a lot of money there. But I tell you what, I'd much rather work a hyper-focused group of 200 leads, not only a return on my money, but also my time, Matt, right? Where you could find the most motivated sellers, you know, just with a click of a button. And to give everyone a little context, before Deal Machine was invented, a lot of people call me the OG in this business. I don't know if they're trying to call me old, but I'll take it, right? We actually had a Driving for Dollars program, right? Except it was manual. So we used to have people go out and take pictures, Matt, and they take pictures, and people used to send them in, and they used to actually send them an Excel spreadsheet where the picture and the address. And then we had to take it back, and then someone used to have to skip trace it using TLO, so it had to be done manually. Then you would take that phone number and then put it in a database for someone to call. So to do this process, just, you know, it took it was so laborious and tedious, right? That if you didn't have it dialed in, right, it just didn't happen. So case in point, literally, I've had this house that I drive past in my neighborhood. And I live in a little town, La Mesa, California, and it's been vacant and it's been beat up. The roof is on there, trash everywhere. And it's like the perfect house, man. And it's funny because I've got a full team, and I'm not, you know, I don't have a camera in my car. I've never done anything with this thing. I'm like, oh, you know, I should call that. I should call that. I should call that. I should call that. Right. And I'm telling you, I've probably passed by this thing over like 5,000 times over 8 years. Long story short, I download the app, right? And I'm not even the one doing deals inside my company anymore, right? Download the app on my phone, drive past the house, boop, I call it. Matt, we get a hold of the seller, we lock it up under contract, and we wholesale the sucker and make 16 grand. Okay.
Love it.
And so that's the tool that we're going to talk about today. Just makes this, not only is this a strategy you've got to be using, but the tool that Matt's going to talk about, it's going to just blow your socks off. I just absolutely love this thing. So sorry to steal a little bit of the show there from you, Matt.
No, this is great. I mean, I think I appreciate you really defining what Driving for Dollars is and when I say physical distress, what that looks like, because it can be really obvious, the fixer-upper properties that really need some love, that, you know, have a tarp on the roof or you know, siding falling off, or gutters, you know, issues, or, you know, things like that. Or can be a little more subtle, even like the overgrown weeds, or the overstuffed mailbox, or even Josh Johnson, one of our first hires. His first property that he locked up, he actually was using Deal Machine, and he saw a property that had Halloween lights up, and it was like March. So it's like things like that, where it's just, for whatever reason, they're just not taking care of the outside of the property. That's what we mean by Driving for Dollars and finding signs of physical distress. And we made like Todd said, you know, made a tool to help you make that process super easy, efficient, save as much time, as much money in that process as possible.
Right. So Matt, who should be using this strategy? You know, is it for investors doing a ton of deals, for the first time investor? You know, tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah. So, I mean, I think, the obvious initial place is, you know, we have, I know about 80% of new investors land their first deal by Driving for Dollars. So a lot of newbies will be the go-to app they recommend, where it's like, hey, go use Deal Machine for the new investor, because it's a tool to help them immediately take action, immediately to land that first deal, and be able to start talking with motivated sellers by generating a list of leads. And it's going to, you know, make it more money because every dollar you're putting into it is going to be, you know, the best return on your investment compared to other alternative methods. So I know newbies for sure is, you know, that's low-hanging fruit. But also, we do have people, like, if you look on our YouTube channel, you know, we're putting out a lot of content ourselves, a lot of case studies, a lot of success stories, and you'll see people on there like Ryan Haywood, where he's somebody who last year alone did over 100 deals using Deal Machine. And he did that. He has brought on a driver, so he's brought on somebody, which we can get into this in a bit, but he brought on someone to help him find these deals, help him physically drive around and look for these properties in neighborhoods. And then he has done that, and used the mail, use the marketing within the app, which I can dig into, use a variety of different things within Deal Machine, all preset for him to land, almost 10 deals a month. So we do have people who they're using it as a way to scale. You got to hit a high number of properties you're putting into Deal Machine,
right,
to hit a volume like that. But I would say we're a tool that has the simplicity and ease of use for newbies to jump in and immediately try to land that first deal, and also the complexity for someone like a Ryan Haywood to scale up and land a ton of deals a month with us.
Awesome. Well, by the way, I have a special bonus at the end of this episode. Right now, we're recording this right now, video and audio. So we're going to keep the first part of the show. It's going to be all audio. But at the end, what we're going to do, Matt and I are actually going to do a demo on the 3 to 5 things you've got to do in the software to make it super easy to make it work. So if you're watching this on YouTube, there'll be basically we'll add on a little demo at the end of a reel here. But everything that you need to know will be in the audio version. But if you're listening to this on video, we'll throw something here at the end video-wise.
Perfect.
So Matt, tell us about the 3 to 5, how someone can do their first or next deal on the app, like a quick action plan, and the 3 to 5 action steps while giving a brief overview of the tool. And again, we'll do a video demo here at the end, but just for audio right now.
Yeah, no problem. And really a lot of these action steps that I give today, they're going to be, they're pulled from, things like our YouTube channel, where we've got, 130 plus case studies of people talking about the deals they've landed using Deal Machine. It's also pulled from, we've had over 200,000 downloads of the app, and we're always in touch with our customers to understand, what is working, what are the most successful investors doing. Right. So these steps that I'm kind of distilling down today are the basic kind of 3 phases of what those investors are doing to land that first deal and to, scale up that business. So I'll say kind of step 1 is building that list. So it's being able to get out there, build that list of distressed, potentially motivated sellers by getting out there and starting to drive. I mean, like we talked about it a little bit here already, but physically get in your car, start to drive your neighborhood, start to look at real estate investing groups within Facebook or within your local RIA, or try to identify hot areas to go where people are looking for those deals, because finding the diamonds in the rough by driving for dollars is the way to really stand out in that particular pocket and neighborhood of where investors are already interested. And then you already know, like, hey, if you're going to wholesale this deal, that you've got cash buyers that'll be pretty easy to line up, because you already know you're in an area that's very desirable. So, or for the investor. So I'd say, step 1 is getting in your car, taking out the Deal Machine app. It'll lock onto your location when you go onto the map, tab right there, and you'll see, lock onto your GPS. Allow that, and then you'll be able to start driving around. And as you drive around, you'll see these black dots pop up all around you. And those black dots are each individual property that you're passing on the street, where you can quickly just tap to look at the property. You can tap and it'll pull up more information about the owner, the equity, the last time it was sold, square footage, just all kinds of property owner data right at your fingertips, right in the mobile app right there, as you're driving around. And then when you see that, say you saw a property, you say, hey, yeah, I think this is a qualified lead. It's, physically distressed. It's absentee owned. It's high equity, whatever your qualifications might be. Hit add lead right there. And as that pops up, you'll see a notification that says, hey, take a picture of this property. And that is absolutely key. I want to emphasize that taking the picture of that property goes a very, very long way in getting that owner to respond to any kind of marketing that you put out there. And the reason being, whenever you take a picture, you take a picture with your phone right there, it'll automatically tag that picture to that property in the Deal Machine app. And then if you actually follow up and send a mail piece right inside the app, which we'll dig into in a second, that picture will pop up on the postcard and be sent and sent to that owner saying, hey, is this your property? Now that specific focus, that specific feature goes a very, very long way. It actually about doubles your response rate versus the industry average when it comes to a piece of mail going out to that property owner.
Right.
So step one being, hey, find these properties around you, start driving around, start taking pictures of those properties. Within the Deal Machine app, there's a couple quick tips. We have a route tracking feature. So if you're on our pro level plan and up, it'll actually follow you where you'll see a green line pop up behind you. And that way, when you're in the map, in the Deal Machine app, you'll see, here are areas I've driven.
Right.
You'll make sure that you don't double back on any routes when you're driving
so
around.
Good. That's so
that's absolutely
good.
key.
I mean, just that one feature alone, you could say, you could use that tool and pay for that, and that would be just worth it alone.
Saves you so much time. Yeah.
Just right backtracking. There. I mean, it's like I got started in the Stone Age. I mean,
yeah. So the route tracking piece is huge. And then the other bit would be the highlight feature. And you can actually go through. And again, the whole point of this is you're finding physically distressed properties. Yeah. But to make sure you're identifying really, really high quality leads that right away you should be reaching out to, calling, text, email, whatever way you're reaching out. You can use our highlight feature where right within the map version of the app, you can hit highlight and then set a certain criteria. Yeah. So you can set and say, hey, show me all the absentee-owned properties around me. Yeah. And it'll start to pop up with these highlights all around you where it'll be these green boxes around these different properties. And that way, as you're driving around, when you look at a property and if it has any sign of physical distress and it's highlighted, this fits my criteria. And, there's signs of physical distress. This is a hot lead. This is somebody I should reach out to right away.
Sure.
So I think those two features will save you a ton of time and help you prioritize your marketing budget.
I mean, what I love is that it's going to help you target the smokest, the smokest. I'm not sure if that's a word, but the juiciest, fattest, most motivated people for the smoking hot deals. That's what I was looking for.
Yep.
The smoking hot deals. I mean, that's basically, if I had to summarize it up. So let's talk about, a lot of people who listen to this podcast, Matt, got a lot of people who want to quit their job, but I talk a lot about growing and scaling and building a team who say, the driving sounds nice. And by the way, you can drive if you want to go out. I told you that I took literally, I'm in my car, right? And by the way, my kids were in the back seat and I took the picture with the app. And it's funny because I was just going to demo the app and I got the deal. Right. I got the deal when it happened. My kids were in there. I'm like, we're 1 for 1 on this sucker. Needless to say, things changed after that. But you have a lot of people who can drive themselves, but then you have other people who say, I don't want to do this. Right. I want to expand and delegate. Right. So let's talk a little bit about hiring and outsourcing driving for dollars. By the way, I've got a special gift for you. And we're going to give out the link to actually sign up for Deal Machine. Actually, I'll give it now. It's nolimitsrealestateinvesting.com/drive. nolimitsrealestateinvesting.com/drive, right? That should pre-populate our affiliate link. But if not, put in the code no limits. If you use our affiliate code, right, I've got 2 gifts for you. Number 1, we're going to give you the contract that we use with our drivers. So that's going to be completely free. Number 2, you're going to get some free credits. So when you go in, you can actually use and try the app for free. So that's our gift to you. So go ahead and check that out. Again, you'll have our driver contract that we use. And then also you're going to get those free credits. So go to nolimitsrealestateinvesting.com/drive. Actually, you know what? I just thought about this on the spot. I actually have my lease option course. And if you've never done a lease option, this is actually a strategy that we use to lock up great houses in great areas and make huge amounts of money on properties that we don't even have to buy, that we own and control. And that course originally sold for $9.97. So if you download the app, use our affiliate code, use the or you type in no limits, you'll get our script and you will get our free lease option course, our lease purchase wealth system, which I've sold in the past for $9.97. So we'll give that link here at the end. All right, Matt. So let's talk a little bit about hiring drivers, right? I know I brought that up, the contract that we use. Let's talk about how do you find drivers and how do you manage them and how do you get them to partner with them so you guys can make some more money together.
Yeah, happy to dig into that. And just one thing to mention as well, I know if they're using your promo code, they actually get, in addition to those credits, they had a 7-day free trial of Deal Machine. So, the goal is to get out there, make it real easy for people to use it for free, get out there and make those initial conversations happen. Like you said, would love to see people go 1-for-1 like that. I'd say outside of that, the credits are good for skip tracing and mailers. So when you add a property to the Deal Machine app and take that picture, right on the spot, you can one-off skip trace, give them a call or text, and then you can also send them mail, which is a one-off, one button, send them a postcard right there. Yeah. So have a couple different ways to get in touch with them on marketing. But when it comes to the drivers on, you're scaling your marketing, you're sending out postcards, you're skip tracing, all that, how to scale the number of leads that you have in Deal Machine, the number of properties in there, that next level strategy is hiring a driver. Like that will be the rocket fuel. Even if you are out there, yourself driving, that's great. But, being able to outsource that and add more people to that, to take that to the next level. That's what people like the Ryan Haywoods of the world are doing to be able to land even multiple deals a month like that.
You got to pump up the volume, baby.
Yeah. So, and then I think the drivers itself, to kind of give you, best practices, best tips there. You can go out and find them in a variety of different ways. I know if you're on our top level plan, we actually give you a landing page that you can share. So this is a landing page you can just post online, and it's a lead capture form where it pitches people on the idea of being your driver. Like, it automatically generates videos that we have for you, and you can just, throw it online. And when people fill out that form, you can get in touch with them to be your driver.
What a great tool.
What was that, Todd?
That's a great value add.
Yeah, so that is huge. I mean, especially if you're going to hire more than one driver, definitely look into that. But that first driver, especially, I'd say you got a couple of options. There are plenty of people who are out there that are, Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, they're, Amazon drivers, they're out there driving already. Those are the type of people that you can really easily pitch and say, hey, as you're out driving, look for rundown properties and add them to my Deal Machine account, take a picture of them, tag them in there. I see people who will literally put a flyer on the door and say, hey, thanks for delivering my Amazon package. By the way, do you want to drive for dollars for me
that's
too?
a good idea.
So that tip right there, definitely a gold nugget takeaway.
Don't be, don't, one of my tricks is don't look for people who are looking for a job, right? Look for people already working,
Yep. Yeah. That's a great tip.
Yeah.
and I think, outside of that, being able to throw that into, a Facebook group on side gigs or, on Indeed.com, like a job site, things like that are where people are sourcing most of their drivers.
Yeah.
You can also go the route of like, hey, if you have somebody who's a friend or family member that wants to get into real estate, we have plenty of people who will pitch them to say, hey, go out and help look for deals for me. As you bring them in, you can, we can get into this here too, but you can give them a referral fee, a finder's fee for it, and or pitch them on the idea of, hey, I'll show you the whole process of going through that deal, and pitch it as a mentorship opportunity and as a way to be able to show people the ropes. And I think plenty of people land drivers that way as well.
Okay. So basically partner with people who want to get involved in real estate, who are willing to sweat equity for learning.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
By the way, I've gotten some of my best team members that way. People are like, oh, I'm going to create competition. These people will make you so much money. Do not be scared to create competition. That's my word on that. Actually, that should be a
great tip.
Another podcast, right? Mentoring your way locally to millions. All right, so
sure.
Let's talk a little bit. I mean, I'm sold on the app. I feel like, we need to triple down on the strategy here, right? So we talked about why it's so important, how it's so easy. I mean, this thing is so easy, guys. It's like, and we'll pull it up here in a second. But let's talk about some of the new upcoming features. I mean, you guys are on the cutting edge. Mm-hmm. Love the owners over at Deal Machine. Tell us a little bit about some of the new upcoming features and some of the benefits of the app.
Yeah, for sure. And I know on our end, we've got a full development team that's always rolling out new stuff like that. That's truly one of our competitive advantages is that we're always improving, always listening to you guys and taking your recommended features and building that into the app. Right. So I know at the end of last year, for example, we launched a sales page feature. So anytime that you mark a property under contract within the Deal Machine app, through Deal Machine, we automatically generate a link that is a landing page for that property. And that's a link that you can just send out to your cash buyers list or to any cash buyer to immediately just save you time, to be able to customize all of that. But then outside of that, look extremely credible, extremely professional, help you, show them like, hey, you're not going to, especially if you're a newbie, it's easy to look amateur and have somebody come in thinking they're going to get a deal off you. Like, hey, present yourself professionally and credibly. And this is a really easy way to do that.
Right.
So the sales page feature goes a really long way. It's something at the end of last year that we released. Coming up now, I know we're starting to roll this out. There's a couple of pretty major upgrades. We've got our Driving for Dollars, plan. When you jump into that, we're upgrading our onboarding process where when you jump into Deal Machine, I know it's pretty easy and intuitive already, but the first thing we're going to do is help you get into the map, tag a property, add it to your list, and then send a piece of mail to it. And we're going to guide you through that through a tutorial inside of Deal Machine. So that way you can hit the ground running, know exactly how to use everything, make it really easy, intuitive, and start getting out there, whether it's for you or somebody driving for you. So that's all getting upgraded brand new. I'd say the two other really exciting things, one of them is our list builder. So through Deal Machine, you have two options. You can drive for dollars like we talked about today, or, I know we said, hey, it's going to be require more budget to land that deal. Right. But you can also build a list or buy a list or build your own list within Deal Machine as well. And we have our List Builder 2.0 that we're launching here. I know within the coming weeks. So that'll be something as well to check out and to be able to look as that augment your Driving for Dollars with those lists as well. And then the final piece is our list stacking feature. So this is a way to look and see, hey, if you're out there, if you're driving for dollars, if you're adding leads there, maybe if you're using another software and you're pulling in leads from there, maybe you're using our list builder. If you have these multiple lead sources within the Deal Machine app, this new feature shows you how many lists, how many different sources that you have with this particular property on it. And this is something especially for the investor who, if they've got data all over the place and they've got all these different spreadsheets with different leads on them, and they need to consolidate and find one easy hub to be able to reach out to people and follow up with these property owners. You'll be able to see right away a score and says, hey, this lead is on 3, 4, 5 lists, and you'll know, okay, that means this is a very high quality, highly motivated lead from all these different sources, and I should prioritize reaching out to them. Right. So excited to kind of upgrade our Driving for Dollars stuff, our lead list management stuff, and our list builder piece all coming out this year.
Man, it sounds like you guys are on the cutting edge, always developing stuff on here. I'm a proud user of Deal Machine. I'm just happy to promote it. And that's why we're an affiliate for it. We're giving away all these free goodies here. So Matt, thank you for that. By the way, and at the end, if you're watching this on video, we'll do a demo, but the episode will stand on its own. Remember to head on to NoLimitsRealEstateInvesting.com/drive. Okay. And remember, if you sign up with that affiliate code, you get a 7-day free trial. You also will get a bunch of credits where you can use those to skip trace or to mail, use the app for free for 7 days. You also get the contract that we use with our drivers, our independent contractor. And we're going to give away a copy of the Lease Purchase Wealth System, right? So on top of being the wholesale deals, you're actually going to be able to use this system to lock up great houses in great areas with no money down, control without ownership. And this is a phenomenal resource for you. So just reach out back to us after you use the link and we will send that to you. Again, NoLimitsRealEstateInvesting.com/drive. All right, awesome. So we did the interview with Matt, and now we're going to get down and dirty. We're going to dig into this tool, and Matt is going to show us how to use this, man. And remember, this is the exact tool that I used. I told you I passed by a house 8 years without doing anything with it. I downloaded this tool, and I took a picture of it, spouted information. I got the seller on the phone right then and there, right? Locked the house up on contract, and 48 hours later, we assigned it for $16,000. So Matt is going to show us again. He's from Deal Machine. We're going to talk about that. By the way, if you want this tool, check out nolimitsrealestateinvesting.com/drive. Got all kinds of bonuses there for you. I'll talk about them again at the end of the episode. But Matt, take us in. Let's see what this bad boy can do.
Happy to. So let me share my screen here. Let's see. Todd, let me know when you can see that.
I can see.
Perfect. All right. So on this screen right here, you can see, and again, this is the web app version. You know, we have a mobile app. We're really, I'd say, mobile first in most ways when it comes to driving for dollars, at least, just because, you know, that's what you're jumping on to add those leads. But as you can see right here, jumping into this, on the maps tab, this is where, when I said, hey, step one is physically getting in your car, driving around, looking for those distressed properties, those fixer uppers that need some love. As you're doing that, you'll see all of these black dots pop up around you, like I mentioned, and, clicking on any of them as you drive by, which is what you did, Todd, whenever you saw that, that property across the street and driven past a million times. When you jump in here, you'll see, if it's owner occupied, you'll see information around assessed value, square footage, all of that. Depends on the market you're in when it comes to the actual data that's going to be pulled up. But as you're going through that, the whole goal here is to be able to just learn more about this owner, learn if it's a motivated seller, learn if it what's the situation with this particular property. You can see this one's corporate owned right here. If you want to actually say, hey, yes, it's a qualified lead, add to my list, reach out to that property owner, you can just easily hit add lead right there as you're going along. And again, in the mobile app, when you do that, it's going to prompt you with this camera button right there, where you can take a picture of that property, make that be assigned to this particular property card, and that's what's going to pop up on this on the postcard that you reach out to. Your picture is going to pop up right here whenever you actually reach out to that property owner.
I mean, this is so easy. I mean, here's the crazy thing, right? You're driving, you see a property, you open it up, you see it's qualified, right? Non-corporate owned, right? You add it to your list. And remember, we talked about at the beginning of this episode was, you want to have like the 200 best, leads that you possibly can. Like, obviously that could be, 200 or 2,000 or 20,000, right? Depending on how big you're getting. But what I love about that is, number one, you're saying, yes, this is part of the world I want to work, but also that you could send a postcard right from the app, right? And take the picture of the property, put it on the postcard. That's so amazing. And then the other part is you could just skip trace them right then and there, just by clicking a button right then and there.
Yep.
Yeah. Do you want to
click that one button?
Okay.
Oh, hold on one second. I have a visitor here.
That's okay.
You would say, hey, Clark?
Hey. Hopefully your dad's not taking you driving for dollars too much. My kids don't.
Yeah, I was going to say, here's my driver.
There you go.
Right here. Yeah. All right, Clark, I'll be right down, buddy. Okay. Yeah. So like you said, you've got two options really when you're getting in touch with that particular property owner.
Yeah.
You've got the mailer, which is set it and forget it. You can send one mailer and it'll go over and over again, as long as you set it. So you can come in here and say like, hey, a mail campaign where it sends this mailer, then this mailer, then this mailer, and it puts it on repeat until I say it. So you can customize your outreach, and that's how you scale your marketing in a way that doesn't take any more time up from you.
Right.
Or you can combine that with these one-off opportunities, like the one-off skip trace, to be able to call, email, text, get in touch with that particular owner.
Yeah.
Where you can see if is connected, disconnected, do not call, on a mobile, a landline. You can learn about that particular property, or that particular property owner, and then reach out to them, whether it be that direct method or the set and forget it method through the mailers.
Right. One thing I love about the mailer, because I'm a big direct mail guy, is, it's a little bit more expensive to mail through Deal Machine, but the lists are so much smaller and they're so much more targeted. And so instead of having to export a list or send it to the mailing company, It's just click, right? And in football, they say, hey, the best ability is availability, right? Meaning that you've got to show up to the game. And I think a lot of times with the postcards, people are like, oh, it never happens. And so I just love the clicking everything right here because you've got to get that marketing out, right? Day in and day out, day in and day out, day in and day out. And if you're using this app, right, and you're driving past vacant properties, you're pulling them up and you are, number one, skip tracing them and calling them. But then, and by the way, there's a bunch of people who don't answer the phone, a ton, right? Specifically if they're in distress. And if you start mailing them, right, month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4, month 5, and you mail, let's say 1,000 people and you do that for 6 months, right? The cost is not that large, right? It's not that large, but your return and both on your time and your investment is just going to be just enormous. And I just love this tool, right? It's so easy. It's so intuitive. It gives you everything that you need, gives you the skip tracing, gives you the cards. And I'm just an evangelist because I tell you, if I didn't drive past that house for 8 years and do nothing, right? And then all of a sudden do something because of the app, we wouldn't be having this. I wouldn't be as excited about it, right? Because I realized it's all about lowering the resistance to doing deals, right? It makes it so easy. You just don't have an excuse. If you have the app on the phone and if you're out and about, you could be doing deals, or you could drive and do deals, or you could hire someone to do deals. I mean, everything's right here, Matt.
Yeah, that's our whole mission, is to be able to reduce the friction of investor getting in touch with a property owner.
Right.
So it's, how do we make it as easy as possible to, that's been around for decades. Driving for dollars is not a new idea, but make that method and that style of finding these off-market deals and going direct to seller, how do we make that as easy as possible, save as much time as possible, because we know those are the best deals that are going to make you the most money.
Yeah. Awesome. Remember, guys, go to nolimitsrealestateinvesting.com/drive. That'll pre-populate our code. If you happen to not use our code, make sure you put in the word no limits. When you use that code, you're going to get a free 7-day trial. You're going to get free skip trace credits, or I think you can use them for mail, Matt, or no?
Yeah, so it actually gives you over 100 free skip traces. So our skip tracing is usually 14 cents per skip trace.
Yeah.
So it gives you over 100 free skip traces, and then also over 25 free postcards. So
great.
These mailers, they're usually about 55 cents per mailer.
Yep.
You can pick a different size of mailer and different type, and you can customize all that. Yep. But that being said, I know Ryan Haywood, who's landed over 100 deals this year using Deal Machine. He just uses our templates that are preset. We've got about 10 templates in there.
Yeah.
He uses our preset templates, so it's going to give you 25 of those to reach out directly to sellers and win that first deal.
And by the way, if you use that code, you'll get all that free. You got the free coupon. Plus, you'll get our independent contractor for the drivers, which you have to use that. Just reach out to us after you use the code, and then you'll also get a free copy of the Lease Purchase Wealth System. And I'll talk a little bit about that previously in the episode. And we've sold that for $9.97 in the past, and that will be yours for free if you use our affiliate link. So make sure you can reach out to us after you sign up using that code. So Matt, thank you so much. We'd love to have you on in the future. It was a blast. This software is just like blowing my mind. Every time I get inside it, I just am reminded how easy this is. And if you want to do more deals, you've got to download this.